Miss Underwood, you go. All right, so Mr. Walker, I had Brenda Underwood, she darted out. So let me grab Mr. Walker's file. All right, we're back on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus David Michael Walker. Mr. Murphy represents Mr. Walker and Mr. Hartung represents the people. This is date and time set for arraignment. Mr. Murphy, do you waive the reading of the felony information?
Yes, Your Honor, we received the information, we acknowledge the receipt of the information, the witness list, and the discovery memo from the prosecution. We would waive the reading of those. At this time, I believe that Mr. Walker, in speaking with them and from the people are offering for Mr. Walker to plead. I believe it's to count 2, possession of methamphetamine, dismissal of the remaining counts, and I believe there'll be no habituals on that, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct, Mr. Hartung?
The supplements will be dismissed as well, Your Honor.
And Mr. Walker wants to accept that offer today and again plead guilty to possession of methamphetamine.
Is that a correct recitation of the plea?
It is.
All right. So, and you received a copy of the prosecution's request for discovery as well as the witness list?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Walker, you want to raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, Your Honor.
Thank you. Can you state your full name for the record?
David Michael Walker.
All right, thank you. So, Mr. Walker, you've heard the statement of your attorney and the prosecuting attorney. Is it your intention to plead guilty to count 2, controlled substance, possession of methamphetamine, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 10 years in prison and or a $15,000 fine, because there's no second offense, right? Or no habitual offender. Okay.
Correct.
And so you understand the maximum penalty is up to 10 years in prison and or a $15,000 fine?
Your Honor.
And it's your intention to plead guilty to that count?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Underwood, I have Mr. Gonzalez Rodriguez. Are you gonna need a breakout room with them?
Yes.
All right, I didn't know if you wanted to go log in and I can.
Yeah, I'll go log in.
All right, so Mr. Walker, are you satisfied with Mr. Murphy as your attorney and the advice that he has given you?
I am, Your Honor.
Good. Now, neither the prosecutor, the defendant, nor anyone on the defendant's behalf has discussed a possible sentence with the court. Is that correct, Mr. Hartung?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Walker, as far as you're aware, is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, if a guilty plea is accepted, there will be no trial. This means that you will be giving up rights you would have had at trial. I'm going to explain those rights to you now to make sure that you understand them. You have a right to a speedy public trial by jury. You may ask for a non-jury trial, and if the prosecutor and court agree, you can have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty and you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at trial and have witnesses against you appear at your trial and to ask those witnesses questions. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses you have for your defense to appear at the trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial, not to have your silence used against you. However, you also have the right to testify at your trial if you want to testify. Do you understand that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable if you were convicted at trial? Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that any appeal from the conviction and sentence pursuant to the plea will be by application for leave to appeal and not by right? Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a conviction of a crime may result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States of America, or denial of naturalization. Do you have any questions about the rights that I've given to you?
No questions about that, no.
All right. So, Mr. Walker, how do you plead to the charge that on or about March 10 of 2024 in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee, that you did commit the offense under count 2 of controlled substance possession of methamphetamine?
Can I ask a question real quick, Your Honor?
Sure.
Last time I seen you, the prosecutor gave me, I actually had this charge and something else that went with this charge. And I should have discussed this with my lawyer before I even got in your courtroom, and I apologize for that. But I guess I should have asked him if we could have made some kind of agreement with no upfront jail time and possibly rehab. I didn't even think about that, Your Honor.
So that's not up to me. And why don't we pause for a minute, and Mr. Murphy's gonna go whisper with Mr. Hartung for a second. So hold on. So Mr. Gonzalez Rodriguez, I'm gonna call your case real quick, and I'm going to put you in a breakout room with your attorney. So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jonathan Gonzalez Rodriguez, file number 23-21565 FH. I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Gonzalez Rodriguez. So, and Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. So I am going to open up a breakout room with Ms. Underwood and Mr. Gonzalez Rodriguez. So, oh, there they go. Ms. Underwood, he just went right in. Okay, back to Mr. Murphy.
Yes, Mr. Hartung said that he would not agree to no upfront jail, that the plea is as it stands. Mr. Walker, do you want to talk more about this in a breakout? I mean, I can ask the judge, on your bond. I can
Mr.
ask
Walker,
that.
Mr. Hartung won't agree to it. So at the end of the day, it's gonna be up to me whether you do jail or not. And it'll be based on your guidelines too, so.
I'll plea out.
Are you sure, Mr. Walker?
I mean,
So Mr. Walker, you have drug subs, which means this 10-year, if you were convicted, would become a 20-year. And then your 20-year could become a 40-year. The plea offer takes it down to the 10-year, which, to be honest, will always guideline, like it's a straddle cell more than likely. So you're I mean, I don't think there's any, I don't think he's looking at prison on this sentence.
The other thing is Mr. Walker probably needs to understand and realize that if he was convicted of any of these charges with the drug sub attached to it, the guidelines automatically double.
Yeah. So your guidelines on this 10-year, usually it's a straddle cell, which calls for a county jail term. If you were convicted with the drug sub, your guidelines actually would double. So I think it's Mr. Walker, if you need more time to think about it, if you need a minute to talk to Mr. Murphy, I mean, I can tell you, you're not going to prison on the initial sentencing, but if you violate, you could.
and I already have a few months in time served, so yeah, I'll take the plea.
Do you want to talk to Mr. Murphy again?
No, it seems like the smart thing to do.
Okay. Are you satisfied, Mr. Murphy?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. All right. So, let's see. I think blah, blah, blah. All right, I'm gonna go back. So neither the prosecutor, the defendant, nor anyone on the defendant's behalf has discussed a possible sentence with the court. Mr. Hartung,
That's correct.
Mr. Murphy,
That's correct, Your Honor.
and Mr. Walker.
Correct.
I'm probably repeating myself. So, all right, if a guilty plea is accepted, there will be no trial. This means that you will be giving up rights you would have had at trial. I'm going to explain those rights now to make sure that you understand them. You have a right to a speedy public trial by jury. You may ask for a non-jury trial, and if the prosecutor and court agree, you can have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty, and you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at trial and have witnesses against you appear at your trial and to ask those witnesses questions. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses you have for your defense to appear at the trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial, not to have your silence used against you. However, you also have the right to testify at your trial if you want to testify. Sir, do you understand that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable if you were convicted at trial? Do you understand that?
I do, Your Honor.
You understand that any appeal from the conviction and sentence pursuant to the plea will be by application for leave to appeal and not by right. Do you understand that?
I do, Your Honor.
If you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a conviction of a crime may result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States of America, or denial of naturalization. I want to pause. Ms. Underwood, do you need a breakout room with Mr. Norton?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
All right, so I'm gonna open up breakout room, Mr. Norton. Go ahead and join that breakout room. All right, so Mr. Walker, do you have any questions about the rights that I've given to you?
No, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Walker, how do you wish to plead the charge that on or about March 10 of 2024 in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee, that you did commit the offense of controlled substance possession of methamphetamine, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
All right. Has anyone made any threats or promises to you to induce you to plead guilty to this charge other than what was placed on the record?
No.
You understand if I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea. Do you understand that?
I do, Your Honor.
Is the prosecutor or defense counsel aware of any promises or threats or inducements other than the plea bargain to induce the defendant to plead guilty? Mr. Hartung?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Murphy?
No, Your Honor.
And again, has your attorney promised you any particular sentence or estimated what your sentence will be, Mr. Walker?
No, Your Honor.
And is it your own choice to plead guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Walker, on March 10 of 2024, were you in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee?
I was, Your Honor.
All right, and did you have in your possession methamphetamine?
I did, Your Honor.
Did you have any legal right to possess that methamphetamine?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and you knew it was methamphetamine?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, are the people satisfied?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, has the court complied with MCR 6.302 B, C, and D, Mr. Hartung
Yes, Your Honor.
and Mr. Murphy?
Yes, Your Honor.
I accept the plea. It has been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of his rights and he does have competent counsel. This court has made no agreement regarding the possibility of a plea or possible sentence in this case with the prosecutor, the defense attorney, the defendant, or anyone acting in the interest of either of them. I'm going to refer this matter to the probation department for a pre-sentence investigation. Mr. Murphy, my next sentencing date is June 28th at 8:15. Are you available that day?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so I'm going to set this for sentencing on June 28th at 8:15. Mr. Walker, you're not on probation or anywhere, are you?
No, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Walker, somebody from the probation department is going to come over and meet with you. Be truthful with them about your background, the events that occurred, and then they'll prepare a pre-sentence report. We'll provide that to Mr. Murphy. Mr. Murphy will review that with you in advance of the hearing date, and then we'll see you back on June 28th. Do you want to come in person or do you want to appear via Zoom?
I want to come in person.
You want to come in person? All right, so we will have you brought in person. And we'll see you back on that day. Anything else, Mr. Murphy?
No, Mr. Walker, I'm gonna talk with you at the jail, hopefully tomorrow or after that next week, okay?
Okay.
All right, very good, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, so Mr. Walker's all set. Miss Underwood, let's start with Mr. Gonzalez Rodriguez. Thank you, Mr. Hartung.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome, sir. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jonathan Gonzalez Rodriguez, file number 23-21565FH. This is the date and time set for sentencing in this matter. Mr. Gonzalez Rodriguez is represented by Rhonda Underwood, and I have Isaac Sneed on behalf of the people. So, Ms. Underwood, how would you like to proceed with Mr. Gonzalez Rodriguez?
Your Honor, we would ask the court to set this out for another pretrial next month, maybe towards the end of the month. There is some video, I believe, I would like to look at that hasn't been.
Would July 3rd be okay?
Hmm?
July 3rd?
That would be fine, Your Honor.
So I'm gonna set this and you have the video?
Hmm?
You have the video?
Not yet, but we anticipate getting it.
All right. So Mr. Gonzalez Rodriguez, I'm going to adjourn this out to July 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. Miss Underwood is going to view some video and she'll meet with you. She's really good about getting into the prisons. We'll see you back on July 3rd at 8:30. All right, Mr. Gonzalez Rodriguez?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you for your patience this morning, sir. Have a good day.
So,
All right. All right, so now recording to Zoom. All right, so is Nicholas Schmidt in the courtroom? Good. How about Tora Trammell? Excellent. David Vickery? No. Tyler Daniels? Awesome. All right, we will be with you next. So give us just a moment. All right,
Also, Mr. Raymer and Mr. Jamea here as well, Your Honor.
okay, all right. I'm gonna get them done next, okay? Work on Mr. Murphy and Mr. Malaro, and I have Ms. Brenner here too, so. All right, so we're back with Daniel Norton. So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Daniel Philip Norton, file number 23-21382FH. I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Norton, and I don't have a prosecutor on this one because it's a probation violation. So Ms. Underwood, how would you like to proceed today?
Your Honor, I believe Mr. Norton has a PCC scheduled on a fleeing and eluding in district court. I believe it's tomorrow. We would ask that the court put this over a week or so, Your Honor, or maybe two, to allow us to see what's happening on
May
the district
29th?
court case.
May 29th?
That's fine.
All right. All right, and my staff will do the notice because it's violation of probation. So we will see you back on May 29th at 8:15 in the morning.
Thank you, Your
All
Honor.
right, thank you. All right, so I am going to step off the bench for 2 seconds. We'll sign something, so I'll be right back. 2 seconds.
Oh. Okay. I'm gonna go right back and get this.
Hey,
Yes,
how you doing?
fine, Mr. Miller, how are you?
I'm losing my mind.
Oh, hang in there. Hang in there. All rise. Okay, so, all right, you can sit down. All right, let's see, I got Mr. Miller, okay. So. Those. All right, for Trammell.
Yes, Judge, you're right.
All right, Mr. Coast. Okay, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Tora Trammell. File number 23-21467FH. I have Salvatore Malaro appearing on behalf of Ms. Trammell, and I have Isaac Sneed on behalf of the people. Miss Adams, can you call Darren Coast, please? I see him, but I don't think he's logged on or connected. So I have a letter, May 13th of 24, that Ms. Trammell is presently testing at Aver Health in Jackson. I started a show cause after she missed 2 drug tests and failed to update her address with the court. She has since missed a 3rd test. When she does test, she is negative. Mr. Malaro is her attorney, and he gave her what he believes to be her correct address. And Mr. Coast, you're asking to have her switch to colors where she has
Correct,
tested
Judge,
in
to where she's being tested in Lenawee County.
Okay, and you live in Lenawee?
No, I live in Cement City in Jackson County. That's why, and I.
Okay, I want her tested today, Mr. Coast.
Okay, very good, Judge.
Okay, so we're gonna pause for a minute and I'm gonna have you drug tested, all right? So you can have a seat in the hallway and then we'll come back to you.
Okay.
Mr. Malaro, did you have anybody else but her left?
Yeah, Judge. We're good. We're fine.
Well, I mean, you can go down to Judge Olsaver and then come back.
Okay, you sure?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, thank you. All right, so. All right, so Tyler Daniels. All right, Mr. Murphy. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Tyler Gregory Daniels, file number 24. You guys stand behind the podium. 21727FH. I have Matthew Murphy appearing on behalf of Mr. Daniels. And it looks like this is a contempt court hearing. I do have a motion affidavit and or order to show cause. It stated that your client tested positive for amphetamines and meth from a drug screen on April 26th of 24 at Lenawee Drug and Alcohol Testing. Have you tested since then anywhere?
Yeah, I've tested, and I've been having problems though with, when it comes to pain, this.
Okay, so I'm gonna have him tested today.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna like pause. I want you to go have a seat in the hallway. And could you let Mr. Coast know I would like him tested too? Please, Mr. Murphy.
Judge, I'll meet him out in the hallway.
Oh, okay, I thought you were in the hall, Mr. Coast, sorry.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so let's go on to your next one, Mr. Murphy. Let me see. Jacob Kelly,
He's in custody, Your Honor.
our jail list was that good today.
I have Mr. Schmidt in the courtroom and hopefully Mr. Vickery is zooming in.
There's somebody on the Samsung. You have who in the courtroom?
Mr. Schmidt.
Hi, this is Judge Anslone. Do you have Jacob Kelly in custody?
Who is it?
Jacob Kelly?
Hang on one sec, let me log on, I'm just going with MedPass.
It's okay. Our jail list was a little wonky today.
Alright, hang on one sec.
All right, thank you.
I believe he's here.
Okay.
He was the last day at work, but one sec.
Yeah, he's on the jail list. It just didn't have my name on it. So I'm ready for him.
Okay, if we have him, you're ready for him, got it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Alright, got it, you're welcome, bye.
Bye. Who'd you say was in the courtroom?
Mr. Schmidt.
All right, Mr. Schmidt, you want to come on? All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Nicholas Thomas Schmidt, file number 23-21502FH. I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people, Matthew Murphy appearing on behalf of Mr. Schmidt. Did you go get fingerprinted recently?
Yeah, they had all that. I went to the jail and they had all that. Your attorney, Your Honor. Sorry.
Your attorney, that's funny. Okay, when did you do that?
Ooh, back
Last summer?
months ago, yeah. Because I was amazed because when they didn't have my fingerprints and I was amazed at that. So I went there, I came to the court here, went there and I did all that.
All right. Miss Adams, could you call over to jail booking and verify that? Because he said the last time he went, they said they had his prints.
Okay.
All right, so we'll check that again. I apologize for that inconvenience. So this is the date and time set for a couple things. This is just set time, date and time set for a pre-trial in this matter. So Mr. Murphy, how would you like to proceed today?
Your Honor, at this time, we're asked to set trial on this matter, and then, myself and the people can discuss any changes in the offer between now and then.
What is the offer?
Your Honor, from my understanding, from the people, the offer will be for him to plead no contest to, I believe it was an aggravated assault with entrance into mental health treatment court, with possibility of deferral based on that.
Okay. All right, so is that a correct recitation of plea, Mr. Sneed?
Yeah, I think it was either ag assault or aggravated domestic violence, one or the other.
Okay. So do you understand the plea offer was pleading no contest to a 1-year misdemeanor in mental health treatment court?
Yeah, yes, I understand.
Okay, okay. All right, and, okay, and then, let's see. Okay, so Miss Adams, I need a 1-day trial date. He's not in custody though. I know I just told you to do 3 things at one time. I'm sorry.
No problem. We just had opening on Tuesday, July 2nd.
July 2nd.
No, I can't do that date.
Mr. Murphy says he can't do that day.
Okay.
Evidently, he has more of a life than I do.
So I'm getting into September, so would we want to do it as a backup to Michael Gray that Mr. Murphy's on as well?
No, I can't prepare both the trials, and I think Mr. Gray's definitely gonna go.
Okay, so if I don't back trials up to other trials, you're looking at a trial date in 25.
I mean, I can't. We can set it as a backup, but I'm probably gonna have to, have a pre-trial a month beforehand.
I do.
So determine it at that point.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, we can give you another date, but I'm just telling you, we back up like 3 to 4 trials every week.
Yeah, I can't, because I had it where it was a week before, and I can't prepare the week.
So Miss Adams, another date?
Okay, so then we have Wednesday, September 4.
I mean, I could do that if we not fit the court schedule.
Well,
obviously
it does. Okay, so I'm gonna set trial for September 4. It'll be a 1-day trial, I'm assuming. Trial starts at, let's see, September 4 is a Wednesday. So I'll start at 10:30 in the morning. I'm gonna set a final pre-trial for August 14 at 8:30 in the morning. I am going to require that voir dire questions and jury instructions be provided by August 7. And final motion date will be August 14 of 24. All right, I have filled out a scheduling order. Miss Adams, could I get a copy of this for both Mr. Murphy and his client, because his client's in person?
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Thank you, ma'am. What was it? Okay. All right. So, sir, make sure you stay in contact with your attorney and prepare. And we will see you back here on August 14th at 8:30 in the morning. Thank you, Mr. Murphy.
Your Honor.
Ms. Adams, were we able to verify prints?
They were checking and have not gotten back with me yet.
Okay. I don't know, lack of time with prints. His.
Judge for Mr. Daniels, he was positive for methamphetamine, amphetamines, methadone, and also morphine.
Okay, thank you. Is that a baby? Okay, all right, so you have a seat.
I missed who this client was that just was up with Mr. Murphy.
Mr. Schmidt, we set a pre-trial for August 14th and a trial date for September 4th.
Thank you.
All right, so, Okay, well set, thank you. All right, so we're back up with Mr. Daniels. Mr. Daniels, you wanna come up here with your attorney? All right, so we are back on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Tyler Gregory Daniels. Mr. Murphy, we are here. Your client is charged with tampering with evidence, couple R&Os, not even drug charges, but so evidently, your client tested positive for a cocktail of things.
Yes, Your Honor, and this is embarrassing for myself because I didn't know it in my file. Mr. Daniels was waiting sentencing, so he had entered a plea on these files, I believe.
Right.
Already. I had it down, he still had to enter the plea, but in regards to the matter, I think as he was indicating to the court, he is having issues paying for drug testing. I would ask if we could
Or does he have a trouble testing, pleading for drug testing?
I guess when he is able to test, they don't come back. Good.
Um,
When's the last time you were able to test before?
What's about? I'm just, I'm homeless right now. I've been actually.
Hold on, I'm not talking to you yet. Miss Adams, is he already pled and set for sentencing? You said he already pled?
I thought so, Your Honor.
I see where he pled guilty, but where's his sentencing date?
What case
Do
is
we
that,
know?
Judge?
It's
I'm
May
sorry.
30th.
May
Yes.
30th? Okay, so he's set for sentencing in 2 weeks, Mr. Murphy.
Yeah, Your Honor, I was gonna ask if we could address the contempt of court at that time. I was gonna have Ms. White talk with him about seeing about, because he's saying he needs some additional help
Right.
engaging services. Obviously, I guess this, I would ask the court to not take him into custody. Hopefully, he'll be able to start engaging in the drug testing. Again, I don't know if he's able to afford it. I
No,
don't know.
because he's homeless. I'm gonna remand him to the custody of the sheriff's department and revoke his bond and set bond at 25,000 cash assured. Do you want him screened for drug court?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
All right, so I'm gonna take a recess. You're in custody.
I couldn't speak at all, Your Honor.
Nope.
While you're there, maybe speak the drug court, and we're gonna have to screen what services can provide. I don't know. But you just- But again, it's just. Never seen it. Like it's been-
Yeah. Oh, okay, all right. We'll worry this was- I'll bring it back. What was he since?
They did pull my bond.
Oh, yeah. Okay, gotcha. This one.
All rise. Thank you, man.
You can sit down.
I wasn't there.
I just walked in.
Okay, no, sorry about that.
Okay,
Okay, Judge, we're not on the record,
so,
Judge.
huh?
We weren't on the record, but you're
No,
good now.
no.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Tell me when you're ready.
Yep, all set, Judge.
All right, who do I have from the jail?
Jacob Kelly.
Okay. And change screen name. So, I've got everybody from the jail now. Anyway, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jacob Dean Kelly, file number 23-21287FH. I'm Matthew Murphy, appearing on behalf of Mr. Kelly, and Amanda Wagner appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for a pretrial conference. Mr. Murphy, how would you like to proceed?
Your Honor, I guess, well, at this point, I'm just gonna ask Ms. Wagner what the offer is from the people encompassing both of Mr. Kelly's files, because I didn't have it in my notes.
So Ms. Wagner, what's the offer on both files, please?
Yes, one moment, please. I'm sorry, Judge, this isn't my file. I'm just covering for Mr. Sneed for a moment. So I don't see an offer in 2321287 other than a note that drug court is being considered. Could I have the other file number?
2421801 FH.
So we don't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's one of the.
I do
sorry.
have a plea offer in this file. I'm sorry. So it's plea to possession with intent to deliver meth, dismiss the RNO, the habitual third, and the controlled substance second offense notice. Would consider possession of meth with controlled substance second and RNO if there's good reason to believe that it was for personal use.
Okay, so it sounds like we don't have a plea offer. So I mean like a full plea offer on both the files. So Mr. Murphy, what I would ask is probably reach out to Mr. Sneed and get a plea offer form.
Yeah, Ms. Wagner, is Mr. Sneed on both the files?
No, the one that I just read you the offer in, that is Ms. Arnold's file, and it looks like the first file is Mr. Sneed's.
Thank you, Ms. Wagner.
So Mr. Murphy, what I'll have you do is reach out to both of them, and I'm gonna set this over to May 29.
Yes, please, Your Honor, because I've had Mr. Kelly screened. I just don't see no back as to whether or not he qualified for or was accepted into a court. And so I think that should get that answer quick.
All right, so pretrial conference, May 29th at 8:30 in the morning, and you can get that information and meet with Mr. Kelly before that day.
Actually, it looks like the 2-4 file is already scheduled for the 29th.
Good, perfect.
Hey, there you go.
All right, so Mr. Kelly, I'll see you back in 2 weeks, okay?
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Murphy.
All right, Mr. Murphy, you took care of Daniels, right?
Yes, Your Honor, and that's Mr. Vickery, I believe.
All right, I have a gentleman on a Samsung device. Is your name David Vickery?
Yes, ma'am.
Good, all right. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus David Lee Vickery, file number 23-21617FH. And Matthew Murphy appearing on behalf of Mr. Vickery, and I have Amanda Wagner appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for a pretrial conference. Mr. Murphy, how would you like to proceed?
Your Honor, at this time, we'd ask the court to set a trial in this matter. I believe that's a 1-day jury trial would be appropriate, and I guess if the court wanted to do it as a backup to that Mr. Gray case, that's fine, Your Honor, I guess.
Okay.
Again, just we'll be able to figure out by the pretrial, the final pretrial, which one's gonna go.
Okay, so I'm gonna schedule 1-day jury trial on September 4. Is that the date? September 4 at 10:30 a.m. And then a final pretrial for August 14, 24 at 8:30 in the morning. I'm going to schedule motion deadline for August 14. And then I'm going to schedule August 7 as the date that jury instructions and voir dire questions are due. And I signed it, and we'll get a copy of this out to everybody. So, Mr. Vickery, I need you to stay in touch with your attorney to prepare for trial. Let's see, Mr. Vickery has 1 count of felonious assault, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 4 years in prison, and 1 count of weapons felony firearm with a pneumatic gun, which means if he were to be convicted, he would serve a flat 2 years on the felony firearm and then serve any sentence that would be ordered on the felonious assault. So he could be facing up to, I don't know, 36 to 72 months in prison. So, Mr. Vickery, make sure you stay in contact with Mr. Murphy to prepare for trial. And is there anything else, Mr. Murphy?
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor. I don't know if Ms. Wagner had anything.
I do not, thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're all set, Mr. Vickery. We'll see you back on August 14th at 8:30 in the morning.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vickery.
Thank you, Matt Murphy.
And Mr. Murphy, is that all you have?
Yeah, I think so. I'm just gonna double check and make sure.
I think that's all I had on my docket. So let me double check, yeah. So I have left, I have our patient, Sarah Brenner. Mr. Collins is in custody. And for Trammels with Mr. Malaro, we did Jacob Kelly. I don't think I have anything else for you. All right, so Miss Underwood is next door. She'll be back in just a minute. And then Mr. Malaro is finishing up next door, and he'll be back in just a minute. So I'm going to take a recess until they are back.
Did you like the pictures of LinkedIn on the Times?
I saw those. That was cute. All right, thank you. Those are keepers.
Yeah.
It's not true that took place in this. I understand.
Let's see the. And those two cases, all the charges that come up after that, all dismissed. Just like you.
But they didn't arrest him, they didn't agree with my deprivation of right.
Sorry, guys.
Did you find anything?
I don't know. I
Other
mean,
than
I didn't talk
that,
to Becky and
I
I
didn't
know
see
there
no
was,
fire department over there, so it could have just been an order that just didn't come off right.
no, we did have a maintenance guy that was, I think, one of the ladies said was still there. They might check.
So we're live on YouTube, so no talking, please. Thank you.
As soon as she sees you, I think she'll probably come back in.
Hello? Hello?
She'll be right out, Rhonda.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Rhonda, are you ready for anybody or no?
I'm ready for Mr. Morris.
Okay.
What about Collins? Are you ready on Collins?
He's in jail, so I think they have a couple more to do. I'm sorry, Sarah.
Okay,
I'll have him brought in, Sarah.
thank you.
All right. Yeah. The judge will be right. Hmm?
Thank you, gentlemen, for being patient.
Yes. Thank you.
All rise.
Miss Underwood. I do have Miss Brenner, so the jail's getting Mr. Collins right now. Mr. Coast. You can sit down. Okay, so, all right, do you have anybody in the courtroom?
I noticed it for the pretrial. I have Mr. Germain, Your Honor, and Mr. Raymer.
All right. Mr. Coast, I forgot, Mr. Malaro's on Miss Trammell, so Mr. Malaro's still next door, so I'll let
He
you know
is.
when we're ready. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Judge. No problem. She was negative.
Okay. So, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Aaron Carr, multiple files earlier issued a bench warrant for her arrest for failure to appear. I am going to continue that. She was extradited to Ohio on a vehicular manslaughter charge. So, she will, I'll put a holder on her. That way we can get her back. Okay.
Isn't she in Indiana dealing with that charge?
Ohio or Indiana? Is it Ohio or Indiana? One of those swing states. Anyway, all right.
Last time she was extradited, I thought.
Yeah, Miss Brenner, I have Mr. Collins. You're Mr. Collins, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna change your name.
And in addition, do we have Ms. Wagner?
We have Miss Brenner.
I'm here, Judge.
Because Mr. Collins has 3 files.
Okay, I have Amanda Wagner. Amanda, are you there?
Yes, sorry, Judge.
All right, so this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Darius Dwayne Collins Jr. We have 3 files, 24-21767FH, which I have Sarah Brenner representing the Attorney General and Ron Underwood representing Mr. Collins. And then I have 24-21798FH and 24-21799FH, which I have Rhonda Underwood on behalf of Mr. Collins and Amanda Wagner on behalf of the people. So this is the date and time set for all 3 files for pretrial. Miss Underwood, how would you like to proceed?
Okay, this is going to take a second.
All right, can we go one file at a time? So we're
Let me
starting
be
with-
real quick on mine, Judge Sarah Brenner for the people. On mine, he's going to be pleading guilty, and we're going to be doing a PR bond so he can be released to the drug court.
Okay, so as charged and PR bond.
Yes.
Any other agreement?
No, Judge.
Okay, so then that takes care of 24-21767, right, Miss Underwood?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Coast, Mr. Malaro is here. I don't know if you communicated with Mr. Malaro the results of the test. All right, so
I
then,
have not. She did do it, Sam, she did do a drug screen for me this morning. Actually, Jennifer Williams, and she was negative for all substances.
excellent. Okay, good. All right, thank you, Mr. Coast. All right, so let's move on to file number 24-21798FH. On that file, she's charged with larceny in a building. What's the plea offer on that file?
That file is, the plea offer is an attempt, Your Honor, a 2-year felony. And the other file, Your Honor, is a 1-year use misdemeanor. And Mr. Collins has been accepted into drug court, I believe, Your Honor.
Excellent.
And the provision is that that drug case will be a 7411. I believe Mr. Collins is eligible for that, Your Honor.
On the 21799 file?
That's correct.
All right. All right.
Mr. Collins will be released pursuant to drug court, and he's going to make every effort to get employment and begin making payments on the child support, Your Honor.
So, Miss Wagner, there's no objection. I guess I need Sarah Tusky, but there's no objection to PR bond on his files? Miss Wagner?
No, no objection.
Okay. All right. So let me write all this down. And so there you go, Miss Adams. Get to do all that paperwork. Okay, so
Sarah Tessler's in the
and-
other court.
that's fine. So I do have amended informations on both of Miss Wagner's files. So Mr. Collins, you want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you state your full name for the record, please, sir?
Darius Collins Jr.
All right. All right, you can put your hand down, Mr. Collins. So we have a bunch of files, but you've heard the statement of your attorney along with the prosecuting attorney and the attorney general. Is it your intention on file number 24-21767FH to plead guilty to count 1, well, as charged to count 1, failure to pay child support, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 4 years in prison and or a $2,000 fine? So is it your intention to plead guilty to that count, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then we're gonna move on to file number 24-21798FH. Is it your intention on that file to plead guilty to count 2, attempted larceny in a building, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 2 years in prison and or a $2,500 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. And then on file number 24-21799FH, Is it your intention to plead guilty to count 2, controlled substance use of methamphetamine, which is a 1-year misdemeanor and carries a maximum penalty of up to 1 year in jail and or a $2,000 fine under 7411, which means if you successfully complete probation, this file would be dismissed at the end of your term of probation, or not dismissed so much as it won't show on your permanent record. So is it your intention to plead guilty on that file?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Collins, are you satisfied with Ms. Underwood as your attorney and the advice that she has given you?
Yes.
Okay, neither the prosecutor, the defendant, nor anyone on the defendant's behalf has discussed any other possible sentence with the court. Is that correct, Ms. Underwood?
That's correct, Your
Ms.
Honor.
Brenner,
That's correct, Your Honor.
Ms. Wagner,
That's correct, Judge.
and Mr. Collins, as far as you're aware, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if a guilty plea is accepted on these files, there will be no trial. This means that you will be giving up rights you would have had at trial. I'm going to explain those rights to you now to make sure that you understand them. You have a right to a speedy public trial by jury. You may also ask for a non-jury trial, and if the prosecutor and court agree, you can have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty and you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at trial and have witnesses against you appear at your trial and ask those witnesses questions. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses for your defense to appear at your trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial, not to have your silence used against you. However, you also have the right to testify at your trial if you want to testify. Do you understand that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable if you were convicted at trial? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you understand that any appeal from the conviction and sentence pursuant to the plea will be by application for leave to appeal and not by right? Do you understand that, Mr. Collins?
Yes, ma'am.
If you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a conviction of a crime may result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States of America, or denial of naturalization. Do you have any questions about the rights that I've given to you, Mr. Collins?
No, ma'am.
All right, so we're going to start with file number 24-21767FH. Mr. Collins, how do you plead to the charge that on or about the time period between February 1 of 2023, February 1 of 2022 through July 31 of 2023 in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee, that you did commit the offense of child support failing to pay? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Okay, and how do you plead to the charge on file number 24-21798FH that on or about December 13 of 2022 in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee that you did commit the offense of attempted larceny in a building? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Okay, and Mr. Collins, on file number 24-21799FH, how do you plead to the charge that on or about March 4 of 2024 in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee that you did commit the offense of controlled substance use of methamphetamine? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
So, Mr. Collins, has anyone made any threats or promises to you to induce you to plead guilty to any of these charges?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that if I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during the hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Is the prosecutor or defense counsel aware of any promises or threats or inducements other than the plea bargain to induce the defendant to plead guilty? Ms. Underwood?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Brenner?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Wagner?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Has your attorney promised you any particular sentence or estimated what your sentence will be, Mr. Collins?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So is it your own choice to plead guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, Mr. Collins, on file number 24-21767FH, During the time period of February 1 of 2022 through July 31 of 2023, you resided in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and during that time period, you had a child support order in place through the Lenawee County in front of the court where you were supposed to pay a monthly amount of child support, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And during that time period, did you pay your full monthly amount?
No.
So you would agree that you failed to pay your child support as ordered, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Brenner, are you satisfied on that one?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so let's move on to file number 24-21798FH. Mr. Collins, on December 13th of 2022, were you in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and at that time, were you in a school building?
Yes, ma'am.
What school building were you in?
Adrian High School.
Okay, and did you attempt to take someone's phone and steal it? I didn't hear your answer. Did you take somebody's phone?
No, but I'm pleading guilty to the charge.
Hold on,
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Collins. I'm so sorry. We're having some audio issues. So you're pleading to attempted larceny in a building. And what it alleges is that you stole somebody's cell phone at Adrian High School. Did you take a phone that didn't belong to you?
I didn't take the phone, but the evidence tries to say I did, so I'm just copping up to it. I'm just gonna.
Okay, so that's not a plea I can accept. So Miss Underwood, why don't you step in the hallway and talk to Mr. Collins for a quick second?
Thank you, Your Honor.
You can use
Your
the
Honor,
hallway one.
Your Honor, can we have the sentencing date on the child support matter since that one?
Yeah, are you satisfied? Okay, so on your count alone, has court complied with MCR 6.302 B, C, and D, Ms. Brenner?
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Underwood?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Brenner, on your matter, I will set this for sentencing on June 28th at 8:15.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're all set, Ms. Brenner.
Thank you.
Be back in a second, Your Honor.
Of course. So, Mr. Collins, Ms. Underwood's gonna go on back and zoom in and chat with you for just a minute, all right?
Okay.
Okay, so Mr. Murphy, you have Ms. Trammell. All right, Ms. Trammell, you want to come up with Mr. Malaro? All right, so we're back on the record in the matter of people of the state of Michigan versus Tora Nicole Trammell, file number 23-21467FH. Mr. Malaro, your client did drug test and she was negative, so that's good. So, Mr. Malaro, we're here on this show cause because she's not testing as ordered and she's missing tests.
Judge, I spoke to her and I think there was some kind of a miscommunication. I did talk to Mr. Coast about it. Pretty certain it's whatever was going on been cleared up.
All right, Mr. Coast, Mr. Malaro states that he believes that this won't happen again.
Judges, as far as Ms. Malaro did provide me with an address and phone number, which Tora did confirm, so I'm okay with that. But as far as missing drug tests, I do have 3 missed tests, 311, 417, and also 421. I would like to have her drug testing moved to Adrian, however.
All right.
I think at least 1 or 2 of those.
I made up.
She went in.
Okay, so you have to stand at the podium, ma'am.
Oh.
So, because you're kind of soft-spoken.
Yeah.
So we need to get a full record. Okay, so here's the deal. She is required to drug test. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You don't get to miss those.
Yes. I
Okay.
understand.
Mr. Collins, I'm gonna put you and Miss Underwood in a breakout room real quick. So I'm gonna assign you to a breakout room with Miss Underwood. Go and join that breakout room. All right, now you live in Cement City, so you're equal distance from Adrian or Jackson.
Right, but my work, I clean houses. I work in like Brighton, Pinckney, South Lyon, those kind of places, which is exponentially further from Adrian.
So she can, yes,
I'm sorry to interrupt. I do have a proposal if you and Mr. Milaro are willing to hear it.
Sure.
So we've been in court for this case many times. Mr. Milaro has many times asked me for a better plea offer. There were some concerns placed on the record at the last hearing. I don't know if the court recalls, but I indicated that I have information that Ms. Trammell is in Clinton, Michigan nearly every day, associating with two other individuals who have recently been charged with drug charges. One of those individuals' charges were dismissed because of a search and seizure issue. The other case is still pending. My proposal today is that I'm willing to consider a different plea offer, but I would request that Mr. Coast request that she be switched to colors and test in Adrian be granted, number one. I would also request that there be a no contact order put in place with Gary Adkins and Kelly Fletcher. And if we could maybe get another pretrial about a month from now and see, how that goes over the next month, then I'd be willing to discuss this again with Mr. Milaro.
Judge, as for the case itself, I was gonna ask that for trial. I was gonna track down the information Ms. Wagner has indicated she's either not aware of or there's stuff about hanging around with people. I don't know that based on hearsay, we should be amending bond conditions for such a thing. Anytime she's tested, she's always been negative.
I've been testing
You
since
just
last.
stop talking right now.
The issue about missing tests from Ms. Trammell is my understanding that she immediately made those up. She understands the court's position. That's not a negotiable issue. And I think that's issue's been corrected, but I was just gonna ask to set the matter for trial, the underlying matter. I don't know, perhaps a hearing for the show cause at that time. So,
Mr. Coast, the drug testing facility in Adrian, what time does it open?
They have two testing times, and they take into account people that work. So the morning one, I believe, is from 9 until 11. And then the evening one, without looking at the paper, is 4:30 to 6:30.
All right. All right, you have something you want to say?
Yeah, that's just gonna be super hard for me to get there, because
Judge,
I usually.
I want to correct myself. For the evening, it's from 6 p.m. till 8 p.m.
Because I usually start work at 9 and.
Okay, so
sometimes I
here's the
work-
deal, Ms. Trammell.
Uh-huh.
You either test as I order or you
Yeah,
go
no.
to jail.
Yeah, I
Do
absolutely.
you understand me?
Yes, I
And
do.
since we're having issues with your test, those are two options, morning or evening. I am gonna order that we switch to colors and you test in Adrian.
Okay,
Okay, so you just have to figure that out.
okay,
All right, and I mean, if you test at 7:30 at night, that's great. If you are missing tests still, then I'm gonna revoke your bond next time. You got it?
okay.
Any
Yeah.
questions?
No.
All right, so, okay, so I'm gonna order that, but one of your bond conditions is already probably, and if it's not, I'm gonna amend it, that you're not to be around anybody who has illegal controlled substances,
Mhm,
okay?
mhm.
So
Yes or
make
no?
sure you're careful about who
Yes
you're
or
hanging out
yes,
with,
yes.
all right?
Okay.
All right, I'm not gonna add names because Mr. Milaro objected. But I will make that change. Does she need to meet with you again, Mr. Coast, today?
She does, Judge. When she's done in court today, I'll meet her out in the hallway and I can go over the colors with her.
Okay, and then Ms. Wagner, anything else to add?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
So just so I'm clear, she can't be around people who are in possession of controlled substances,
Illegal.
and she knows they're.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
In her pocket.
All right, so we getting a trial date?
Yes. case is a year older.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we're gonna work it out or
All right, so, all right, Miss Adams, I'm looking for, I think this would be a one day trial day, please. We can use that, well, no, this is Mr. Malaro, so,
Tuesday, September 10th.
Mr. Malaro.
should be good.
All right, I'm gonna set this for trial on September 10 of 2024. That's a 9 a.m. start date, start time. I'm going to set a pre-trial for September. Are we open September 4, Miss Adams?
Yes.
Just checking. September 4 at 8:30 in the morning. And I am going to make September 4 the final motion deadline. And then I'm going to require that all jury questionnaires jury instructions and voir dire questions be provided to the court by August 28th. And Ms. Adams, I do have Ms. Trammell here. Could I get a copy of this for her and Mr. Malaro? Does she need to sign any bond paperwork?
I believe
Judge, I
when
don't-
it's
I don't-
amended, they don't have to, but I can print that for her.
And then you're just gonna have a seat in the hall. When you get your paperwork, have a seat in the hall and meet with Mr. Coast, okay?
Okay.
And have a seat on that bench right behind there.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Is that all you?
Yeah.
That's fine. Is that all you had, Mr. Malaro?
I hope so.
All right, thank you. All right, so we are back on the record with Mr. Collins. Now we're just waiting for Miss Underwood, so hold on. Hold on, Mr. Collins, it'll just be a minute.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Malaro. All right, Mr. Jermaine, you're back there, yeah. And Dylan Legore. Let's see, that showed up. Is Mr. Morris downstairs?
He's on third floor, yes. I think Ron and Nicole talked.
All right, Ms. Underwood, I have Mr. Collins. So, okay, so Ms. Underwood, we've already accepted the plea and set a sentencing date on the AG's office file. But are you ready to proceed on the plea on the other two?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Collins, I'm gonna back up. So on file, we're gonna go to file number 24-21798FH, and that is the attempted larceny in the building. So Mr. Collins, do you wish to continue your guilty plea on that file or change it?
No, continue.
All right, so Mr. Collins, on December 13th of 2022, we're in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
sorry. Yes, ma'am. Okay. And did you take a cell phone from Adrian High School?
Yes, ma'am.
And you didn't have permission to take that cell phone?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Are you satisfied, Ms. Wagner?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So Mr. Wagner, or Miss Wagner, I'm going to move on now to file number 24-21799FH. So Mr. Collins, on March 4 of 2024, we in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee.
Yes, ma'am.
And at that time, did you use methamphetamine?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have a legal right to possess and use methamphetamine?
No, ma'am.
And you knew it was methamphetamine?
Yes, ma'am.
Are the people satisfied?
I am, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, I accept. Has the court complied with MCR 6.302 B, C, and D? Ms. Underwood?
It has, Your Honor.
Ms. Wagner?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I accept the plea. It has been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of his rights and he does have competent counsel. This court has made no agreement regarding the possibility of a plea or possible sentence in this case with the prosecutor, the defense attorney, the defendant, or anyone acting in the interest of either of them. And then there was a referral to drug court. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Mr. Collins, you were screened for drug court. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And I believe he was approved at our last meeting, right, Ms. Wagner?
Your Honor, I don't believe I was there, but he legally qualifies, so I think that he probably was.
Okay, I think
I received a email to that effect, Your Honor.
that he was approved.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought we did, because I remember talking about you. So Mr. Collins, the recovery court program is really an amazing program, and I'm always like very honored to be a part of it. The team that you'll be working with really go above and beyond. They're 24/7. It's just an amazing program, and I'm really glad that you're going to be entering it. It is life-changing for some people that really devote themselves to the program. So I look forward to seeing you there. And I think it's next Thursday. Do we have one this week or next Thursday? I think it's next Thursday.
Next
Becky, is
Thursday.
it next week or this week?
Oh, it's this week.
Yeah, it's this week?
I believe so. I believe it's tomorrow. Yes.
Okay. All right. So Mr. Collins, I'm going to refer this matter to the probation department for a pre-sentence investigation. I am going to set sentencing for July or June 28th at 8:15 in the morning. And when you get done and get released from the jail, Ms. Holly, do you want him to report to the probation department when he gets released, or how would you like him to do that?
Yes, that'd be good. Or if I could get his address, or if somebody has his address.
Well, I can put you in a breakout room with them real quick if you'd like. So, Mr. Collins, you're gonna get released today. I'm gonna pop you in a waiting or breakout room with Miss Holly, and she's gonna give you some instructions, okay? But I need you to follow up with Sarah Teskey from the drug court program, because she may have you start coming to meetings before. When you meet with the probation department, they'll give you a packet to fill out, and then they'll set up a time for you to come back in and meet with them. Make sure you make both of those appointments, and then when they meet with you, be honest about your background. It's very important that you be honest with them about your addiction issues, because we kind of craft a program for your needs. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
It's like a totally different concept. So honesty means you don't go to jail, but lying and running means you go to jail. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
So, but I don't want you to relapse either, okay? So, but remember, honesty is always the best policy when it comes to recovery court. So I'm gonna put you in a breakout room. Make sure you follow any instructions Miss Holly gives you. And we also have a list of employers that can help you out as well. So, and we'll see you back June. Do you want to come in person for sentencing or via Zoom?
I can come in person.
All right, we'll set that in person. So I'm gonna open up a breakout room with you and Miss Holly, and then when you're done, you're all set, okay?
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Collins. I look forward to seeing you. Okay, so that takes care of Mr. Collins. Jermaine? Oh, you gotta stand right there. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Danny Lee Germain. It's pronounced Germain, right? And pronounce your name.
Danny Lee Germain.
Germain. Okay, my notes, I always write it phonetically because I like people's names to be correct, and I was just looking at my notes. Okay, so I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Germain, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This is a date and time set for pretrial. Miss Underwood, how would you like to proceed?
Your Honor, we would like a brief adjournment in this matter. I believe Mr. Germain and I discussed this morning that he may qualify for Veterans Court or something similar, Your Honor. So we would just like maybe a month's adjournment to see if there's anything that we could provide for Mr. Germain there. And we're still hoping to have a resolution to this.
Okay, Miss Adams, could I get a notice of hearing for June 26th at 8:30 for Mr. Germain? All right, so I'm gonna set this pretrial for June 26th at 8:30 in the morning. That's my next available. We're filling up pretty quick. And I'll get you a notice of hearing, Mr. Germain. So you just have a seat on that bench, and you make sure you stay in contact with Miss Underwood, okay? All right, excellent, thank you. How long were you in the military?
8 years.
Good, all right. All right, so that takes care of Germain. Who else do you have in the courtroom?
I have Mr. Raymer here as well, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Raymer, you want to come up?
And both Mr. Germain and Mr. Raymer were on time this morning, Your Honor, so I.
Oh, they were, and you were too. You were just, you go next door first. That's
But I
fine.
thank them for their patience.
Oh, yeah, they've been patient all morning long. Or at least they haven't yelled at me this morning. So, there. Okay, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Shane Leroy Raymer. It's Leroy?
Yeah.
Okay, and file number 23-21665 FH. I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Raymer. And I have Amanda Wagner appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for pretrial in this matter. Ms. Underwood?
Your Honor, we are in the process of preparing some motions. And also, we just got another 911 tape. I would ask for another adjournment, and that June 26th date sounds real good, if the court would consider that. But then we should have everything filed, and maybe, in fact, maybe they can be heard.
All right, Miss Adams, I show no TCN on this file.
1 second, Judge. None on our record.
All right, Sergeant Adams, Eric Adams, is that APD or the Sheriff's Department?
It's Adrian Police Department, Your Honor.
Okay, so.
Oh, Judge, I do have a TCN number in my file, and maybe I should just pass that along to Ms. Adams.
Or, yeah, to Miss Adams and Miss Martina Aranda.
Okay, I'll do that right now.
Okay, good. Okay, so June 26th. Miss Adams, could I get a notice of hearing from Mr. Raymer? I think, Miss Underwood, you just have everybody come in person because you know I'll do the notice of hearing. Is that what you're doing?
No,
I think so. I think
these
so.
gentlemen always come in person.
I'm kidding, Miss Underwood. All right, so if you're not in person, Miss Underwood has to do the notice of hearing. If you come in person, we do. So I'm just teasing. She's not in trouble. All right, so have a seat. We'll get you notice of hearing and we'll see, and we'll see you back on June 26th. All right, so Miss Underwood, let me look. Yep, just sit right there. Yep. And we'll get you a notice along with the other gentlemen. So we did Collins. We did. All right, Dylan Legore, is he in custody?
I believe he continues to be incompetent, Your Honor.
He what?
Continues to be incompetent.
Is he at the forensic center? Oh, yeah. All right, so in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Dylan Legore, file number 24-21671FH, I do have a letter dated April 10 of 24 from the Center for Forensic Psychiatry stating that he is incompetent, although they believe he's likely to gain competence. So, and he's in their custody?
I'm not sure if he went to the forensic center from the jail already. I know someone did. I know that's really tough to do.
What, get there?
The beds are in short supply.
Hey, this is Judge Hanselman. I have a question. Can you tell me if Dylan Legore was transported to the Center for Forensic Psychiatry?
Oh, he's here now.
Okay. All right. Okay. Do you want him on the record?
I don't believe.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. We're all set. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye. Well. Okay, so. All right, so it looks like, Rhonda, we haven't placed this on the record yet.
Okay.
And so I guess we do need them.
Okay.
Because we have to order that he's incompetent and then. Oh, thank you. This is Judge Anselone again. I do need Dylan Legore. I apologize.
That's okay, we'll get him out.
All right, thank you. So, Mr. Sneed, and then the people do the order on these, right? Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Do you know what the time period is for transport? Are they coming and
I
getting
think
them?
it's 90 days.
They come and get them within 90 days? Jesus.
It's in there 7 months.
They used to get them within weeks, like a week or two, and they were gone.
7 months and he's still.
That's ridiculous. That guy told me Happy Mother's Day, Joan.
That's the Judge.
That guy told me Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, nice. Aw, that was nice.
Oh, thank you. Do you need something else?
I have a question.
Sure, come on up with Miss Underwood.
So, now, when the day that officer came in and.
Okay, so let's stop you right there. I can't talk about your case with you, okay? So I'm just a judge. So anything.
I was requesting actually to get also the, because the transcripts.
Can you just sit down and talk with Miss Underwood for 1 minute? Just talk to her real quick. agreement. Okay. It'll just be a minute. All right, who do I have from the jail? Mr. Legore?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Dylan James Legore. Who's my prosecutor on this one? Mr. Steen?
Yes, good morning.
All right, and this is file number 24-21671FH. Ron Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Legore, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. Ms. Underwood, I received a competency report dated April 10 of 2024. Did you receive that report?
I did as well, Your Honor.
Did you, Mr. Sneed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you stipulate, Ms. Underwood, to the admission of this report?
We would, Your Honor.
Do you, Mr. Sneed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so, all right, so I received this report. It's dated April 10th of 2024, signed by Andrea L. Vandenberg, RN, MS, NEA, BC, Hospital Director for the Center for Forensic Psychiatry. And in the cover letter, it states, the above named defendant has been opined incompetent to stand trial and likely to gain competency. So they believe that at this time he's incompetent, but they believe if provided a course of treatment, he would be able to attain competency. And therefore, if the court determines that, the center will offer a placement recommendation in accordance with Administrative Rule 10079. Okay, that's new. All right, so as I review the report, it states that it is the opinion of this examiner that the constellation of symptoms impacting Mr. Legore's mental condition renders him incapable of understanding the nature and object of the proceedings against him and incapable of assisting in his defense in a rational manner. It goes on to list symptoms, which I'm not going to place on the record. And it appears he is incapable of understanding the nature and object of the proceedings against him or of assisting in his defense in a rational manner. They find that there's little known at this time about his mental health history or the way in which he responds to treatment. However, it does appear that he was prescribed prescription medication prior to the interview at his own request. So his compliance with that bodes well for treatment, as psychiatric medication is frontline treatment for his diagnosed mental condition. He would additionally benefit from psychosocial programming in a therapeutic environment. As such, it is their opinion that competency restoration treatment involving the administration of psychiatric medication and psychosocial programming would restore him to competence within the timeline provided by statute, and is signed by Benjamin La Liberty, capital L, small a, capital L, IBERTE, PhD. And you have any objection to any of that, Ms. Underwood?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Sneed?
No objection. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. So the court is going to find that the defendant is incompetent to stand trial but restorable, and that hopefully in accordance with the recommendation, there is a substantial probability that the defendant, if provided a course of treatment, will attain competency to stand trial within the time limit established by the law. The defendant shall undergo treatment to render the defendant competent to stand trial. And the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services will be appointed as a medical supervisor of treatment. And the defendant will be committed to the inpatient facility recommended by the Center for Forensic Psychiatry. And I will sign that order, Mr. Sneed, upon presentation. And I will set a pretrial out November. Miss Adams, do I have November 6 or 13 available?
Either should be fine, Judge.
So I'll set a pretrial conference for November 6th at 8:30 in the morning. All right. Yes, Mr. Legore?
I got a quick question. I got like a new address. I got share the warmth, 427 West Main Street. Then I got pretty much pathway to recovery. But I'm just trying to happy late Mother's Day. Staying up for myself.
Oh, thank you.
My aunt is
Thank
watching
you.
on Zoom. You're welcome.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Legore. Thank you. All
You're welcome. Thank you. Your Honor.
right. Take care, okay?
All right. Do I got a PR bond?
No, sir.
So what's going on with Underwood? Over at Trey, because I do comprehend.
So, Mr. Legore, I've assigned you to be reviewed at the psychiatric hospital. So we're just waiting for them now to come get you, okay, for treatment,
Today?
all right? I don't know when they'll come. Unfortunately, they do take a while to come, which is disappointing. So we'll see you back later, Mr. Legore. Thank you.
Back in November?
Yeah.
November?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye. Okay. All right. Well, it's really sad that it takes so long. All right, so we did.
I'm going to investigate whether there is a better way for Mr. Gore to wait out his treatment possibility.
Get it. I mean, it's sad that these people sit in the jail for 6 months who are health risk to themselves and other because of mental illness. And Center Forensic Society or Forensic Center is not staffed to take them in sooner. They used to be fully staffed. I mean, there were like, I used to volunteer there a long time ago and they took everybody in. All right, I think that's it.
I believe that concludes my docket.
Oh, you got Mr. Morris.
Oh.
Want him brought down?
Yes, please.
You're gonna try to run away. See, another one you brought in person, so Becky has to do the notice.
No,
I think so.
actually, I asked him if.
Oh, he said you do. You tell people to come in person, so the judge has to do the notice.
You would sell out your own money.
Yes, I would. Of course. You took your soul away, lost.
Believe him at your peril, Your Honor.
All right, we'll have Mr. Morris brought down.
Rhonda.
Alright, so this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus DeAndre Marquis Morris. File number 23-21553FH. I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Morris. Thank you. And Mr. Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for pretrial. Did you get fingerprinted?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So, Ms. Underwood, how would you like to proceed today?
Your Honor, we've had discussions on this matter, but I think I need to have further discussions with my client. So I would ask for another pretrial, maybe 60 days out. The offer on this case currently is as charged, no subs.
All right, so plead to assault of a prison guard as charged, no sub. All right, so he has, it's a fourth offense notice. So if he was convicted at trial, he would be looking at life.
That's correct.
Okay. And have you ran guidelines on this?
I'm sorry?
Have you ran guidelines? Aren't they usually like 5 to 23?
Your Honor, Mr. Morris's outdate right now, his earliest outdate is somewhere around 2057. So we're looking at various things, Your Honor.
Okay. And okay. And so Ms. Underwood, I typically on these sentence at the low end of the guidelines, and he knows that.
And I'm aware of that, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, so 60 days, May, June, July 3rd.
That's fine, Your Honor.
And where are you currently residing? Okay, do you like them at 8 o'clock or you want them later in the morning? What's easiest on you guys?
Whatever you say.
Whatever I say, okay. So we'll set this for July 3rd at.
Oh, and I'm sorry, I forgot another reason we were waiting, Your Honor. We have yet to have Mr. Morris's criminal responsibility. That's really what I'm going to investigate, why that hasn't been done yet.
Okay.
It was, they told him they would come back and do it.
And they haven't?
Not in yet.
Okay. All right, so I will set this for July 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. You want to come in person or via Zoom?
I'm in person.
All right. And did we get his competency back?
I'm sorry?
Did we get his competency back?
We got a competency back.
Miss-
Back in February.
He came back competent.
Yeah, oh, there it is. So. Okay, all right, the letter from January says the delay, so at least they're aware of it. Okay, so we'll see you back then on July 3rd at 8:30 in the morning, all right?
Yeah, look into the criminal responsibility.
Yep, and we're waiting on that, so hopefully, no, they don't work for me, so I can't tell them when to come to see you. So they're part of the state of Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, but I'm sure they'll get to see you, but they just have short staff and a lot of people, okay, to visit. All right, anything else, Ms. Underwood?
Nothing else.
All right, gentlemen, thank you for your patience this morning.
July 3rd.
July 3rd. All right, thank you.
Sure.
Is she gonna get a notice before he leaves?
Miss Adams, do you want to send a notice with them or does it go over a different way?
I can print that real quick.
Do you want paperwork today?
You can, or they can fax it. It's up to you.
They don't care if you want to give it to them or fax it, whatever is easiest for you, Miss Adams.
Okay, I usually don't send one to the prison. We just do a writ, but I can print one to them.
All right, she'll print one off if you guys just want to wait 1 minute and Miss Adams can bring it in. All right.
Now I think I'm done.
You sure you're done? Okay. All right. I'm watching you.